Hey, it's Islam from ITEE, and it is this time of the year again. We go to school, we have to study, horrible. We attend lectures, and you are either one of two, an active learner or a passive learner. Which one do you think you are? Simply put, an active learner is someone who takes notes, while a passive learner is someone who does not. But let's dive a little bit deeper into it, shall we? Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I used to play WWE, and the screen would say KO every time a player wins. The players at that time would read it this way, okay. Everybody was like saying okay, but it did not seem right. So I looked it up and it said KO stands for knocked out. So I learned what it stood for at that time. Now, that's the difference between an active player and a passive player. Like both people are playing video games, but one of them is looking up what they are reading, and the other person is simply saying what other people are saying, or they are just like, all right, this is how it is. Just click that to start the game. Just like scroll down to see like the last word down there in the menu. This is the thing that you can click on to exit the game. This is passively doing it. And instead, if you could read what that is, look it up in the dictionary, this is actively engaged with the game itself. Imagine with me this scenario. We have two people, like person A and person B. Person A is watching a movie. Person B is watching the same movie, the exact same movie. This person A is turning on the subtitles. B is not turning on the subtitles. A is looking at the subtitles. B is not. A is pausing every once in a while to look up a word. B is not. So as simple as that. A is an active movie watcher. B is not. There are a few things that distinguish an active learner from a passive learner. For example, taking notes, asking questions, imitating someone, using a dictionary, doing a role play, discussing a video, making a presentation. There's lots of things you can do to be an active learner. Alright, let's give it a definition. Active learning is to take action based on what we learned. As you can tell by now, active learning can be a bit boring. It can be too boring. That's why you have to be doing something that you are obsessed with, something you like. For instance, I like video games. That's why I play lots of video games and I implement those active learning techniques into video games. I also watch lots of YouTube videos about video games. That's why I implement those active learning techniques into the videos I watch on YouTube. Piece of cake. Let me introduce you to one of my friends, the performance stress curve. It's here somewhere. All right, so that's performance, that is stress. So if you are too relaxed, you are not performing very well. If you are too stressed, you are not performing very well. There must be a middle ground. There must be a midpoint. For instance, if you are watching a movie, if I am, you are, anyone, if anyone is watching a movie and that movie is in English and there are no subtitles at all, at that point you may be very stressed. It is difficult to understand what's going on. That too much stress would lead to a very low performance. On the other hand, if you are using your native language subtitles, you would be too relaxed. You understand everything. You might not even listen to what's being said in the movie. I mean, you can see your native language subtitles there, you can simply read them, and then you can get the idea of what's going on. Too relaxed, the performance is still not very good. Here's a situation that happened with me in an English-speaking country in which I was a bit stressed and applying active learning at the same time. So I was lost and a guy was giving me directions. Whenever he said, go down that way, I'd say like, all right, down that way. And then he would be like, go right, I would go right. Take the second left, I would take the second left. I would say it, I would repeat after him. And after he finished telling me where to go, I walked down the path that he told me. See, so he gave me something that I learned, a way, and I took an action based on what I learned. I repeated and I walked. Here's a technique that I have been using my entire life, literally my entire life. I still use it today. I would watch a movie, a video, or play a video game, and I would learn a phrase, a very simple phrase, 2 words, 3 words, or even 1 word. And I would take that, write it down, say it out loud, understand it and look it up in a dictionary, and then I would go find someone to speak it with them. I would just like put it in any kind of conversation and use it. I use it once, I use it again. One of the apps that I always use is Google Keep. Every time I learn something new, I write it down, and I don't mind at all looking at my notes when I speak with someone else. I look at the notes, I talk. Sometimes I ask for a minute to look something up, to look at something. It's easy, it helps me and facilitates the conversation. As good as it is to watch a video or to play a video game or to speak with an English person, it is still essential, crucial, and very important to get back to the books, to read and understand the structure and the grammar of the language. I hate it as much as you do, but it is a necessity. Passive learning is simply doing a supposedly learning activity without taking an action. You remember active learning, you take an action. Passive learning, you don't take an action. For example, you listen to an English song in transportation, or you watch an English movie without taking a single note. We wouldn't say this way is bad, but we would say it's not very effective. You must have guessed by now that active learning is no easy task. Yet, it is super duper important. You wouldn't believe how far a handy dandy notebook would take you. Do you have a friend who is sleeping all the time in lectures? Are you a passive learner? Do you know any? Share the video with them. Let them know that this is not good for health. I did not get the chance to say that last time, so I am saying it now. Eru, sai, kungru. Subscribe.